Okay,
11.
it is now 6 p.m. and I'd like to officially call this meeting to order. My name is Michael Schenkel and I'm the chair of ANC 2C. I'd like to welcome you to our April 14th, 2026 community meeting. We have 3 of 4 commissioners present this evening, and we will do introductions of the commissioners. If I'll start to my right here with Commissioner Swart.
Hello, I'm Jim Swart. I have a small portion of Chinatown. I have Anthem Row, City Center, and a portion of downtown. And I'm the vice chair.
And I'm Michael Schenkel from ANC 2C01, which is Chinatown, Penn Quarter area. And online with us this evening, we have Commissioner Groth.
I'm Nancy Groth. I'm Commissioner of 2C02, which is Scott Circle, Thomas Circle, and Black Lives Matter Plaza.
Awesome. Thank you. Commissioner Lee, unfortunately, is not able to join us this evening, but we do have a quorum, so we'll move forward with our agenda tonight. Let's first show our agenda. Oops. As I always think I'm going to be prepared, and undoubtedly it fails for me for some reason. Let's see if we can show this. Huh. One second. I have no idea what just happened to my computer, but let me see if I can go back here. There we go. Okay, perfect. So let me just share my screen, see what I'm looking at here, and see if I can pop this up. You would think that we would have this down by now, but every week it seems different. Okay, well, I can't figure that out, unfortunately. Tonight's agenda, we will start off with community announcements. For those of you who are in the room, there are agendas over here, paper agendas. We also, for those of you who are online, we do have the agendas available at anc2c.us. We'll start out with community announcements this evening and go through the different departments and MPD locations. We have a community announcements section, and then we have a community grant to vote on this evening. We do have local events that impact the community. This is a consent agenda, meaning that the commissioners will just vote on the agenda item with no presentation from the applicant. We do have 2 APCA licenses, several resolutions this evening to discuss, and we will end our night with a series of planning, zoning, environment, and historic preservation items. There are 2 changes to tonight's agenda. The changes are that I'm aware of is that the mayor's office and the mayor's proposed budget 27 will not be presented this evening. That has been delayed, and we will be hosting that at an upcoming meeting that will be happening later, probably next month, potentially. There is also two items that are added. One is the a mural, Mabel Ping Yu Lee. Watley, thank you. Mural and an event, Bean Spout Factory. Both of these are going to be presented by members from 1882 Foundation as well. Are there any other items to the agenda for changes?
None that I know of.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda as
So
modified?
move.
Got it. And all those in favor, if you could please acknowledge or say hi. So 3 of 3 commissioners voting in favor of that. Commissioner Groth distributed the minutes of both our February and March meetings. We did not approve the February meeting yet, as it was delayed and just came in moments before our March meeting. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes that were distributed?
There were some corrections and additions from Commissioner Swart in a section that I was concerned that the minutes service did not adequately represent his comments. But other than that, I move to adopt the minutes as currently presented.
That's Commissioner Groth moved to accept the minutes as presented. I will second that. All those in favor, if you please acknowledge. So 3 of 3 commissioners voting in favor of that. We will not.
May I just ask?
Please.
And Commissioner Groth, the section that you and I decided was more appropriate than the other one, that is in these, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
We will not have a treasurer's report this evening as our treasurer is absent. We do have one item to address this evening under other administrative matters, and this is related to the office of OANC to manage requests for the office of ANC's to manage 2C's DIF account. This is the account in which we get paid our allotments from the district. And OANC has agreed to do that. They did distribute an administrative letter to us, giving them permission to do that. And we just needed to vote on in this meeting.
I moved to accept their very gracious offer.
I will second that very gracious offer. And all those in favor? Is 3 of 3 commissioners voting in favor of that. So I will send that resolution off to them so they have that on file and can manage that account for us. Yay. I know I'm a tiny bit early. Is anybody from MPD 2 on currently?
Someone put it in the chat that he was representing Lieutenant Garvin. Is that person still here?
I thought I saw.
Philip Robinson? Are you?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
How are you doing? Yes, we can hear you now.
All right, yes. I'm filling in for Lieutenant Garvin for PSA 209. I'm Sergeant Robinson. In reference to PSA 209, there was 3 ADWs, assault with a dangerous weapon. There was 1 robbery, 1 burglary, and 3 theft from autos. And as far as our thefts in the business area is still high with 39 for that 1 month period. That the hot zone of that theft of the thefts are is 1101 New York Avenue, which is that CVS at the corner. In reference to our ADWs, we closed 2 of the 3 assault with a dangerous weapon, which were closed by our arrest. We still have 1 assault with a dangerous weapon individual that's still out there. The victim was uncooperative. In reference to that, he just stated that he was hit with a glass bottle. He didn't want to give the suspect information to the police. And as far as our robbery victim advised us multiple locations, at which time the detectives went with 911 F Street, which is in front of Ultra Bar, since he was last seen at Ultra Bar. As far as our burglary, we had 1 burglary in the 600 block of 13th Street. From the video footage, from what the detectives advise, is that it is a employee from a Ecolab employee who has a key to the business, and he was captured removing $5,000 worth of liquor. And as far as our crime in the 209 area, overall it is down as far as our violent crime, but our thefts are still up there.
Got it. And it sounds like the thefts from vehicles increasing?
No, the theft from vehicles decreased. We only had 3 for the for this month or this time frame. Within a month time frame.
That's great. That's great.
Yes.
Commissioner Groff.
Yes, Sergeant, thank you very much for your service. Even though you're substituting for Lieutenant Garvin, I am committed to asking at every public meeting until it's resolved. So congratulations, you're up. There was a very, very unfortunate pedestrian fatal tragedy in my SMD at 16th and L in early January.
Correct, yes.
That is still being, as far as I know, still being investigated by the major crash unit.
Correct.
And the internal affairs department is still presumably investigating the 2 officers that many people believe initiated a police chase that precipitated this accident. Do you have any new information?
So in reference to that, I don't have any additional information. That is still internal affairs.
Okay.
Hello?
Thank you. I will continue to ask at every meeting indefinitely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Terrific. Any other questions, commissioners, or anybody from the community or online? If you want to raise your hand, that would be great.
I do have a question. One thing I've noticed is that along Palmer Alley, there seem to be more thefts, break-ins, that sort of thing. Is there an increase along Palmer Alley on 9th Street between 9th and 10th and 11th?
Now, are you referring in reference to the thefts or the theft from autos?
Not autos, but thefts that have occurred in some of the stores.
Correct. Well, there's 3 thefts at City Center, the 900 block of H and Palmer Alley. Those we have leads due to the fact that they're known subjects that come to the store multiple times. But as far as making an arrest, it's kind of hard. We just have to wait for them to come back to the store to make a arrest.
Okay, thank you.
Very welcome.
Terrific. Thank you very much, Mr. Robinson. We appreciate you being here.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. We'll now move forward with MPD 1 and Captain Harback. I think I saw you on here.
Good evening, everyone. This is Lieutenant Ursula Tutt. I'm stepping in for Captain Herbenack this evening.
Hello there.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. For PSA 101 Chinatown, over the past month, we had an uptick in property crimes. We had 37 property crimes, and only 4 of those classified as violent crimes. As we know, Chinatown, we have a lot of property-related crimes there. However, far as Capital One Arena is concerned, we have SOD assets as well as 1D overtime assets that has been assisting us with concerts and basketball games and such. So we haven't had any incidents in that area as of right now.
Great. I wanted to ask about, I heard that there was a youth gathering or congregation that happened in the Chinatown area entering the metro, I guess. You have any updates on that?
So we have seen juvenile activity in the Chinatown area. We've been working in conjunction with Metro Transit. As you guys have seen, we had the juvenile takeover that's been happening in the city, but we haven't had any serious issues, just a lot of congregating and hanging out.
Got it. Thank you. Commissioners, do you have any questions for MPD 1?
Hey, this is Captain Herbenack. I'll just quickly add, there was 3 arrests last week from an incident that might be what you're referring to. We arrested 2 adults and 1 juvenile, I believe, for assault and what we call a fray, which is people assaulting each other or fighting, mutual fight. So there was an arrest last week for that at the Metro. Those have been the only juvenile meetup related arrests that we've had in the last couple weeks.
Awesome. Thank you. We do have 2 hands up, and Andrew Cohen is first on my list.
Hello, folks. Thank you so much for taking the time, Captain Habernack, Officer Tutt. Thank you for those reports. I'm going to ask about this in every meeting also. So a couple of things. One, you mentioned overtime assets for concerts specifically. This is, of course, going to be about noise complaints. One thing that our community's been seeing is that during those concert days and evenings when, of course, drummers and such are more likely to show up, the officers who are there aren't always clear on the details of that noise at night regulation. So first question is, what can be done to just get that clarity to everybody, not just the folks who are normally there for MPD 1, but folks who are coming in for just those events?
Yeah, so I saw your email. I think it was just at the end of March, and I've talked with our SOD folks and just kind of have told them that if that does come up, is there's a noise at night situation, to field it to our patrol officers. With the renovation around Capital One Arena, there's pretty strict traffic controls, especially on F Street, because people are walking right out into the street now. So I've had a couple meetings with Capital One about this. So we have to be pretty strict about those detail officers remaining at their posts. So I talked to our Special Operations Division and asked them that if there is some prospective noise at night violations, something like that, to go ahead and field it towards 1D so that we can handle it. Now, all of the 911 calls or 311 calls or 50411 text tips or anything like that, those are already be routed to 1D. And I did to proactively remind our patrol officers about the noise at night statute, whether it's likely to disturb somebody in their place of residence starting at 10 o'clock There's a little bit of question that I do have out to our general counsel and to the OEG about kind of reasonableness as far as what we can do as far as the law isn't specifically set out. It's kind of written for your traditional, quiet, maybe uptown neighborhood, right? So like if somebody were banging a drum outside of a townhouse, outside, we could clearly have the officer write in that arrest report that it was likely to disturb somebody. We do have run into this issue in other nightlife areas, like U Street, Adams Morgan. What's the threshold that we can legally use? So I just want to clarify that with our general counsel and with OEG to make sure that we are staying inside the lines on that one. Obviously, if it's a Wednesday night and there's not a lot of activity in Chinatown or Capital One area, and it is pretty unreasonable amount of sound after 10 o'clock, that's very clear cut. But my question is, what do we do on the nights when there's a lot of activity, a lot of noises? It's very busy in Chinatown. How do we make sure that because we will have the body worn camera footage, that we're making a good arrest? So that is one thing I'm still kind of working through right now with our side.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, our position, which is especially in that G Street alley, because it becomes a kind of a noise tunnel and there's this captive audience. It is above and beyond truly regular audience noise, regular. So it is a big deal. So thank you for that. One thing I wanted to ask then is the joint collaboration that DOB had mentioned. I know you were very generous in asking them what you could do to help. Have there been any updates there about that interagency collaboration at all?
I haven't received anything. I did put my contact information out there with Department of Buildings. So I will reiterate that with them too, again this month, and let them know, hey, we're available to assist you with doing any sort of action, civil enforcement action in that alley. And just to and I did look a little bit more into that area outside that building. It's a weird, it looks like it's private property, gallery place right there, the actual walkthrough, but it's actually, and this is something I learned, it is actually a public road. It's just not a vehicular road. So we kind of have public space issues, which also complicates the matter, and we're looking into that as well. Anywhere on the outside of that building and the atrium where the movie theater is, that's all technically a public throughway. So we have to kind of stay inside the lines on that as well.
Okay, thank you. And I'll just flag for Commissioner Groth, because I know you had mentioned 311 as an option, and yeah, a bunch of my neighbors tried that, and it didn't. There wasn't any actual form on to report that. The 311 number just redirects back to the non-emergency police number. So that advice from DOB didn't really seem to bear any fruit. It wasn't effective.
I'm very sorry to have heard that from my own constituents as well.
Yeah.
But they had called 311 on the telephone. I've always filed 311 on the phone app or on the online desktop app, which does at least generate an encounter number and an audit trail.
Yeah, that may have updated at this point because we all went on the app and there's no noise.
Okay.
Yeah, no specific noise regulation entry for that any longer, which was unfortunate. So yeah, that's a dead end.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you
very sorry to have given bad information.
We're working through it. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much. And we have one more hand up. Mr. Marks.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. So my question is for the captain. Thank you for your service. So I'm here on the 6th floor of the residence at Gallery Place overlooking Chopped and Raising Cane. And I happen to work at home now. I'm retired. And almost by clockwork, like Monday through Thursday, maybe on Friday, these groups of youths come. I don't know where they're coming from. It's not the Girls Academy because of them. Many of them are males, teenage males, the majority. and they there are loitering and they block the sidewalk. And I've been very impressed with MPD, by the way, in marshaling resources to try to tamp down and control these activities. So I have a number of questions for you. Is that all right? The number of questions?
Sure.
Who exactly are these people? They don't look like they're from the Girls Academy, which is around the corner. Who are they?
Well, I did do kind of a very subjective audit, I guess if you will, of who is down there based on school uniforms, very unscientific. And we found that they're kind of from all over the city, the school uniforms, and this is for the after school. We did see a lot from schools like Archbishop Carroll, some public schools, some charter schools. I think I mentioned this last time I did have our school resource officers go to those schools to kind of see if we could get the schools themselves involved. There's not a tremendous amount of people from the schools in Chinatown or near Chinatown adjacent. They seem to be taking the metro there, and I know that is, even though that's kind of anecdotal, it's true, because when we disperse the crowd, they tend to get on the metro and leave. So I think a lot of them are coming in on the metro. We're monitoring that as they're coming in. On the weekends, it's really a grab bag. There are kids from the neighborhood. There's kids from nearby neighborhoods, but there's also kids from as far away as Maryland and Virginia. And we see that with any of the juvenile meetups that happen in the DMV area. There's one going on right now in Pentagon City, actually, that we're tracking because of the spring break in DC. And they really come from all over. It's not like just as you noted, not just neighborhood kids hanging out. So that's part of the problem, and it's not one specific group or one specific location.
That's a great answer, Captain. What's the purpose of coming down to Chinatown? What are they looking for?
I don't know. They come to Navy Yard. The groups we've had groups in Navy Yard, Banneker, U Street, Waterfront, the Wharf. It seems that Navy Yard is really the primary focus, and Gallery Place and Chinatown seem to be kind of secondary, thankfully for you all. But I don't know, other than after school, it's my guess that the Raisin Cane and the Chick-fil-A are kind of an after school snack, treat, dinner location. So that is probably some of the driver of it. And I think it's kind of one of these situations are kind of, they snowball. So a couple kids show up, a couple kids show up. We have a pretty strong effort with our Office of Intelligence to track any online posting. We've seen a really high prevalence of AI generated meetup posters saying we're going to meet up here, we're going to meet up here, we're going to do these times. Anytime we see one of those, we react with placing a platoon of officers in that area. We actually had one for today for Gallery Place. We saw one generated. It didn't really bear fruit. Then most of them went out to Pentagon City, but that's one way we're tracking as well. So I think it's a prevalence of having those kind of quick service restaurants in Chinatown that are popular, but then also every once in a while we'll have these meetups where kids just decide we're going to meet up in Chinatown this weekend and meander about.
Awesome.
Can I continue to ask a few questions? I mean, I don't want to, I know it's a picture. One more question and then I'll be done.
Yes, please. Thank you.
So the incommoding. So when I see looking out my window right down there, I'm like right perpendicular to where you're talking about Chopped and Raising Cane. There, I think, is a legal thing called incommoding, where there's so many of them, they swarm that they block the sidewalks. I've seen elderly, I've seen handicapped that are forced onto 7th Street because these youngsters have no, they think that's their territory, and if you don't like it, we'll go in the street. What legal authorities do you have to break up these groups? Thank you, and that's the last question I have. Thanks for your, Chairman Schenkel, thanks very much for your tolerance of me on this.
No, you're fine.
Yeah,
Good
so
question.
the we do have a couple ways that we're combating it. You know, if they do fight, we have been, and like I mentioned earlier, arrested people for disorderly affray. And there is an incommoding charge. We have used that as well. There's disobeying. I think another one we use quite frequently is disobeying a traffic officer. So if they are impeding traffic, standing in the road, we can use that as well. They are disorderly charges, and what can happen with juvenile arrests for misdemeanors like that, especially lower level misdemeanors, is they can be what's called diverted once they're arrested. So we'll take them, arrest them, and they're released without charge at juvenile processing based on their arrest history and based on the severity of the charges. So that often happens. For the incommoding, we do have to give them a warning. It has to be kind of multiple people in concert together. So if they refuse to move on after an officer's given them several warnings, we have used that arrest. But there is a pretty strong emphasis on the actual warning to use the incommoding charge. But yeah, those are all small things that we use. It's very difficult. It's a difficult problem. It's all small. There's all of these small tools. There's not one big tool that we can use. We work with Line Bike to limit access to the line bikes because they're under 18 age. We take the bikes. We use these disorderly charges when possible, and we try to kind of keep things moving and keep kids from being in danger in traffic and fighting each other. So it's definitely a wildfire fight. You know, we can't just put it out quickly. It's something that we constantly are battling.
Well, thank you, Captain. We at the residents of Gallery Place stand shoulder to shoulder with the MPD in fighting this. Michael knows how to get a hold of me. Anything that we could do overlooking the site of this action, we'd be very happy to assist your officers in controlling this activity. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we are going to move forward. Thank you so very much, Captain Harback. Appreciate you being here, and Lieutenant Tut. Sorry. Appreciate you both.
Thanks.
We now move on to Metro Transit Police, and we have Lieutenant Baga in the room with us. Hello.
Lieutenant Bargy for Metro Transit Police.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I always say it wrong.
Okay. Everybody does. If somebody gets it right on the first try, I get worried. So I have nothing specific to report out on. We do have a number of lower level offenses, some assaults. A couple of them are still open. But outside of that, our main concern, our main issue, much like the captain was talking about, is the groups of juveniles. He did mention we're tracking a group out of Pentagon City today. There was some chatter they might be coming out here right now. We haven't seen that yet, but we're prepared. We're bracing for impact. We are trying something new starting this weekend where we're going to pool some resources from our districts, bring them together with one of our specialized units, and we're going to basically create a team. And their job is to stick with and track the juveniles. If they need assistance from patrol, we'll send more people to them, but it should be between 7 and 10 officers, depending on the day and who's available. So that way we can kind of combat it. They'll be riding the trains along with them. They'll be tracking them. We'll have somebody in a car going along. If an arrest is appropriate, then they have a transport with them right away. So it's not going to pull away from patrol, because we still need people to, do the regular things here at Gallery and throughout the system. And to the captain's point about why are they there, what draws them, it almost feels like they're throwing darts at a map. We had a 2-month period where Silver Spring up in Maryland was just constant. And it seemed to be the same groups of kids. They just decided, let's get on the red line and we're going to ride up to Silver Spring and we're going to cause problems up there. So we ended up doing a lot of work with Montgomery County's 3rd district just to kind of quell that in the area as well as at the station. And then they've kind of moved back down this way. So just seems wherever we put the pressure, they just pick a different spot and they go there. It's almost as if they know our resources are limited. So they just go where they know that we're not. And then we adjust, and then they do too. So it's going to be a long summer.
Got it.
But
Yes.
we're doing what we can with what we have. And I think this team that we're putting together is definitely going to help, at least as far as tracking and kind of keeping the peace. What we found is the best way to do it is to kind of break them up. If we can keep them in smaller groups, then we have fewer issues, especially inside the system. The problem is they show up in small groups to a place like Navy Yard. They all go to that field, and then you have 200, 300, 400 of them in the field. And then all at once they want to come back in the system, and it turns into a big slowdown. So
Yeah.
we're working through it. We're working with MPD to figure out the best remedy. So
Awesome.
outside of that, that's all I have.
Well, that's
Please.
the question I have is that, as you know, I wrote to you and to the captain related to the other day because there were some residential folks who got caught up in that. They were city center people, and they were brave people, and certainly could defend themselves, and yet they were fearful because there just didn't seem to be a police effort, at least initially. And one question I do have is the coordination between Metro Police and the MPD is, if you're on the Metro and you see large numbers of teenagers, youth wanting to cause trouble, is there any way to communicate those kinds of things to the MPD who say are at the
So
Chinatown Metro?
we have, and it's been buzzing in my pocket the whole meeting. We have an active email thread, and I believe you're on it.
Yes.
That we communicate through. And then we also staff the Real-Time Crime Center, which is just a lot of, DC agencies all together in one place. So we'll give updates over our radio, and we make sure that our real-time crime has copied it, has heard it, and then they pass that information along in real time as to, okay, we have a group of, let's say it's 30 on this train headed this direction. They got on a gallery, they're headed towards the wharf. Okay, they went past, they're headed to Anacostia, and then in real-time crime they can update all the districts because they're all staffed that way in real time. So that is the two primary ways that we've been sharing information is we have this live email thread, and we also do everything through real-time crime.
Well, thanks for the explanation.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry,
Appreciate
like
that.
getting, I saw,
I know
I was on the
you were
emails
out
out
of
town.
town.
so.
Yeah. I understood that.
I owe you an apology too, because I got an email from you that was in my spam folder.
Yeah,
that I just saw today, and I was like, whoops.
I remembered about that actually.
Yes.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yes, definitely. I'm assuming it's resolved.
Yes, yeah. I believe
Thank
it
you.
is.
I appreciate that.
I think Mr. Marks has a question.
We have one question online. It's Mr. Marks.
Yes, thank you so much, Captain, for your efforts. Coordination with the National Guard. So right below me at the Gallery Place Chinatown station, almost every day, there are a number of guardsmen. Sometimes it's as small as 3, sometimes it's many as 10. I'm cool with that because I think that's they are a deterrent for any crimes that occur in the system and even at the top of the escalator at Gallery Place on 8th Street. They've been really good and helpful. How much coordination is there between the Metro Police and the National Guard? Thank you.
Good question. So we, like on our radio, we don't have direct contact with them. If we needed to get something to them by radio, it has to go through a couple of different channels. But we do have, so there's kind of 2 sets of National Guard. You have the street level National Guard. They stay up top. They don't go in the station. And then there's typically, like you said, a contingency that are inside the station. They usually come up for air every hour or so. When I talk to my folks that are working out here, they know they usually check in with the guard. They have a good relationship with them. They talk to them. We will set up specific times and places. We'll say, we'll make contact with them. Hey, we're going to be doing this initiative. We're going to be doing fair enforcement from this time to this time. Would you join us? They'll come over, they'll stand, they'll be a backup for us. If we have an incident going on, typically we'll grab one of them and say, hey, we need help with this. We need help with that. When we're having these groups of juveniles, we definitely contact them and say, hey, we could use 2 on this platform, 2 on that platform, and then my officers will be elsewhere. we try to keep at least one officer with somebody from the guard because we don't have that direct radio contact. But especially if we have an incident going on or these groups coming through, the communication is very active and we definitely coordinate.
Oh.
Thank you so very much. We appreciate your service and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank-
See you tomorrow.
Thank you. We'll now move on. Is anybody from the mayor's office on this evening? I didn't see anybody, I didn't think. As I had indicated, if you joined a little late, the mayor's office has, oh, yes, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead if you're making an announcement.
Oh, Jamaica, thank you. Thank you for being here. No, I was going to say the mayor's office postponed the presentation that was to happen on the mayor's proposed budget for 2027. But if there's any updates from the mayor's office, please. Jamaica, that'd be great.
Good evening, everybody. Again, I'm Jamaica Williams, and I serve as the Ward 2 liaison for the mayor's office. So today, on Tuesday, council received the mayor's proposed budget. So at the next ANC meeting in May, a representative from the mayor's office will present the mayor's budget. And if you have any questions, they'll be able to answer any questions. From the Department of Public Works, please note that the sanitation and parking enforcement services will be suspended in observation of Emancipation Day. So on which is Thursday, April 16th, trash, recycling, and food waste collection will slide for the remainder of the week through Friday. Additionally, next Tuesday, April 21st, the council, they're going to vote on the youth curfew. I know MPD was talking about that a little bit earlier. So if you have any feedback, please email me with any feedback for the hearing next week. Also, the mayor is hosting a spring cleanup, and Ward 2 will be at Garrison Elementary School. It's a free community event, and anyone who registers, you'll enter a raffle to win Nationals tickets. At Ward 2's event, it'll be face painting, Radio 1. They're going to broadcast live on site. There'll be a Washington Commanders player participating. It'll be food, fun. First, we'll clean up, and then we'll have kind of like a community day at Garrison Elementary. And as always, if you have any neighborhood concerns, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll put in the chat where the link to register. So if you do register, you'll be entered into a raffle to win national tickets, and my email address if you have any concerns or want to reach out to me if you have any feedback about the vote for the youth curfew next week on April 21st.
Thank you so much for your update. We do have a question that, well, Commissioner Groff, you're up first as commissioner.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, Jamaica. Thank you again for your service. I got an email from you yesterday. I don't know how widely it was broadcast about the youth curfew hearing on April 21st. And asking if we know any residents who are interested in speaking in support of the youth curfew.
Yes.
I have a philosophical, shall we say, question of principle about that. Surely the mayor's office is interested in the concerns and viewpoints and perspectives of all district residents, whether they are in support of the youth curfew or not. I'm offended, frankly, that you sent out a call for people to testify who presumably agree with the mayor's position.
Well, that's why I said any feedback, if they disagree or don't disagree. Just whatever feedback that a constituent has to reach out to me.
Okay. You specifically said, please let me know if you have any residents who are interested in speaking in support of the youth curfew.
So, yeah, so that's why I said today that just any feedback, we're looking for any feedback.
Okay.
If you support it or if you oppose it, just any feedback. If you are unsure, just any type of feedback from constituents.
Okay, that's great. I think this is very unfortunate wording at the best.
We do have a question that came in via the chat. And this is related to, do you have any updates on funding for the Amplified Noise Act?
So next month I'll be able to go over we're gonna go over all the funding, especially funding that relates exactly for Ward 2. But I do not think that there was funding, but I will have to double check.
Okay.
The supplemental FY26 budget was supposed to be maybe posted today, and it may have been on that list. Do you know if that supplemental has been posted yet?
I can follow up and I'll email you.
Yes, please email all four of us,
Okay.
since we all have constituents who are passionate about this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jamika. We appreciate you being here and providing us with an update this evening.
Thank you.
And look forward to having the budget presented next month.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
The office, next on our agenda is the Office of Ward 2 Councilmember Brooke Pinto. And we have, I think I saw Daya was on.
Hello,
Hello there. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. I'm gonna share my screen quickly. All right. Can everyone see?
Yep. We were up now.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Dia from Councilmember Brooke Pinto's office. It's very good to see you all this evening. So as Jamika mentioned, the council received the mayor's budget in detail this morning. Our legislative team is reviewing it now, and we're anticipating a very difficult budget year. However, we still plan to advocate for everything outlined in our letter to the mayor, including funding for Amplified Noise Mitigation Act. Councilmember Pinto will be holding her committee's hearings later this month and at the start of May. We are expecting the budget votes to be the week before and the week after the June election, so it will be a busy June in DC. Councilmember Pinto recently announced new legislation to address our housing crisis. As you know, our office loves an omnibus. We passed Secure DC and Peace DC and are working to pass more of Prosper. Now we have the Homes Act. There are 7 components to this omnibus. First, it aims to make home ownership more accessible to more people with a 5-year mortgage interest credit for first-time home buyers on their DC income tax. And a new pilot program for very low-income, non-traditional homeowners with a lease to home ownership model, allowing you to lease before you purchase from an affordable housing provider. Next, the omnibus aims to increase and speed up new construction by creating a housing acceleration fund directed at shovel-ready mixed-income projects, streamlining the process for existing homeowners to split their lots, which allows for more infill, creating a dedicated track for converting vacant, abandoned, or blighted properties into affordable housing, make smart changes to the tax increment financing program, which will use future revenue from property taxes to pay for housing preservation and building new housing. And finally, by creating a permit process advisory council to work with the Department of Buildings to cut through bureaucratic delays and the time it takes to get a permit, often a major complaint and reason people are forced to hire expediters. We do believe that this needs to be a formal council with open meetings, public participation, and official recommendations from DOB and to DOB. These bills will be referred to the Housing Committee. Oh, the photo's not loading. Okay, well, at the start of the month, the council postponed voting on the extended juvenile curfew zones that MPD has said are an effective tool for them to deal with the increase in teen takeover, mass meetups in areas like U Street, Navy Yard, the Wharf, and Gallery Place, as we talked about. Last week, the Judiciary Committee voted to advance a permanent version of the juvenile curfew zone. We expect the full council vote on both emergency and permanent versions at their April 21st meeting. We know that this is just one tool to dealing with these large gatherings, and Councilmember Pinto still wants to see many of her bills on expanding opportunities for youth recreation and employment to move through the committee as they were referred to. Oh, no, these ones are important. Okay, well, these were the flyers from DPR for two different events that they're hosting. I will explain what they are, and then hopefully I'll put links for them in the chats as well. But we're thankful to DPR for hosting so many events this week for teens while DC public schools are on spring break. Many are at Kennedy Rec Center. The names of them are the Spring Jam, and also I believe that it was like a party jam session. As the Moker said, the DC government is largely closed this Thursday for DC's Emancipation Day. Keep in mind for trash and recycling, for access to DPR and DCPS pools. And I will be sure to get the links for these in the chat. I'm so sorry they didn't load. But that's everything I've got for now. Thank you so much, and I'm happy to take some questions.
Thank you very much for being here this evening and providing us with an update. We do have, I don't know if you can see our chat, we do have a question in the chat related to potentially reevaluating the wording of the Amplified Noise Act to include language about drummers and other instruments that are not amplified. Do you have any updates on that?
I think that our legislative team is working on seeing the viability of revising the language. So that's the update I have so far. If there's anything new, I'll be sure to let you all know.
Great. And I would just like to ask the council member to help accelerate DHS coming back out to the MLK library and helping with cleanup activities. I know that your office has been working on potentially placement of a throne somewhere in this area in order to alleviate some of the concerns that constituents are having relating to people going to the bathroom wherever, sidewalks, streets, doorways, etc. It's really become problematic.
Yes, I've been in contact with DHS and DMHHS about the issues outside of MLK. And the latest update I have from regarding the bathroom is that there's still some confusion about land ownership that they're trying to settle.
Got it. That makes some sense to me.
Okay.
Thank you. Commissioners, do you have any questions for the council member's office? I have Commissioner Groff. Go ahead.
Yes. Hi, Dia. Good evening.
Hello.
I emailed pretty much a bunch of you in Councilmember Pinto's office on March 31st after the Brooks briefing of March 31st. Because a number of my constituents were frankly appalled that it did not even mention the historic override of the mayor's veto on FAR. on actual pushback on federal overreach. And Brian Romanowski was kind enough to answer my email that the Brooks briefing generally only highlights legislation that the council members sponsored. But to me, that's not the point. The council member has, in a briefing of constituents, has a responsibility to cover, all the news, including her vote on it and whatever. I do know that she voted for the original legislation and voted, as they did unanimously, on the override of the veto. But please, in Brooks briefings, I'm calling out the responsibility of council member Pinto, whether candidate Pinto's interests are served or not.
As Brian mentioned, we do in our newsletters, we traditionally talk about bills that the council member introduced or co-introduced. But I've already let our director of communications know. So we're all aware of your comments and how to perhaps change our system.
Thank you. This is not particularly about that one particular bill. This is about the larger issue of constituent service and education and actually briefing our constituents.
Of course. Thank you.
Chair Schenkel, I noticed that Commissioner Lee has joined the meeting. If I step out, will you still have a quorum?
As long as Commissioner Lee is available to stay on and to vote.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Terrific.
Thank you.
So
I'll hang in for a few more minutes, but I really am not well. So
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Feel better. We do have another hand up, Mr. Marks.
Yeah, thank you, Dia, for coming here. I wanted to give a big shout out on behalf of the 300 residents of the Gallery Place condominiums about the leadership shown by Councilmember Pinto regarding the extension of the youth curfew to Chinatown. There were initially 3 neighborhoods that were included. Somewhere along the line, the 4th was added, which is Gallery Place, Chinatown. This is huge. No one wants to live in a building where you're facing anarchy and chaos and youth misbehavior night after night. So just a big shout out to Councilmember Pinto for her leadership in this area. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I will certainly let her know. She'll be glad to hear that.
And we have one final comment from Commissioner Swart.
And Dia, thank you for being here. And I want to say that I really do appreciate the fact that Councilmember Pinto has been a real supporter of the Amplified Noise Act and has done really good things to get that passed. And I hope her push for this to happen actually does happen. Thank you.
We hope so as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for being here tonight and providing us with an update.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
Good night. We'll now move forward with the downtown DC bid. And I believe I saw Lucas on.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Hold on, I'm going to share my screen.
Sure.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
All right. Hey, everyone. My name is Lucas Umania. I'm the Senior Director of Public Space Operations and Activations here at the Downtown DC bid. I always talk about the importance of our work is really about creating these memorable experiences. And we do that through our Clean and Safe initiatives, which is really our foundation. But then also by activating public spaces, and we do that through events and art. And it's a way to drive economic opportunities for our stakeholders. And, it is a vital component of the work that we do collectively as a community to really improve the lifestyles of people that not only work, live, but also visit our downtown and our city. So just want to share a little bit about our clean and safe data. I like to showcase this, and particularly around the trash, the amount of trash that we collect every month. I think we all throw out the trash at home, and I think it really allows you to understand how much work a lot that we really provide to our entire area. In the month of March, we collected over 19,000 bags, 116,000 pounds of trash, stickers, posters, graffiti. These are individual incidents, but they have multiple. Sometimes it's like 4 or 5 posters per incident, and those are removing stickers, graffiti, and then all the different types of posters that you see on the basis of street lights or on the electrical panels. Though, and they tend to gravitate towards political um, uh, posters, and some of it is, a lot of it is, I guess, language we don't really want in public spaces. Our safety team continues to be out in the Chinatown area, and it's really about continuing to build a lot of the partnerships with our retailers, and it really allows them to build trust with the retailers. And then we gather that information and we use our operations app, which allows us to tell these digital stories, but then also the interactions with our stakeholders that we're able to share with a lot of our partners. And those are the business wellness checks. Every month we put a lot of hours into really our Chinatown corridor. A lot of that is really around trash removal, leaf collection, removing a lot of those micro mobilities. So the scooters, the bikes. And a lot of our focus is really around that entire area. It is a critical component of downtown. So we put a lot of our resources into that area. Here's some pictures of some of the events that we support that are not only that are events that really drive a lot of economic impact. The Kite Festival was on March 28th. We had Go-Go and the Go-Go and Sakura event, the Cherry Blossom Parade. The picture on the right is Jazz and Blossoms, which was pretty much the ending to the cherry blossom season. And these are just some of the functions that our organization really does to help support the ecosystem that is downtown DC. Sorry, yeah, and here's like the picture of we had the fortunate ability to have Peppa Pig as our balloon float for the Cherry Blossom Parade this year. Um, this weekend is going to be, honestly, I think might be one of the biggest music weekends the city probably has ever had. There's 3 huge activations happening. And it starts on Saturday. This Saturday, it's the Glow Block Party on Pennsylvania Avenue. Then it's going to be third. It's going to be a street closure from 3rd to 7th Street, and that's being done by the operator that operates Echo Stage. And it's going to draw over 10,000 visitors into the area. It's a ticketed event, which I think is, to me, going to be I think it's going to be an incredible event because it really draws people from all around the country. DJ festivals are really like a big thing right now in experiences around the world, and have really a lot of organizations are leaning in on really this DJ experience because it draws people from outside the region. And we need that right now at this time. We are doing a festival on which I presented here as well on Sunday the 19th with world-renowned DJ Black Coffee as a street closure on K Street between 7th and 9th and Anthem Row. And then DC Emancipation Day was just announced yesterday, the event. And it just got moved actually from Franklin Park to Pennsylvania Avenue on Sunday. And that lineup, I mean, I'm assuming that's going to draw around 15 to 20,000 people. Ti is the headliner. Ti is a very large 3-time Grammy Award winner. And it's going to be a great event. And then in May, we have the State of Downtown, which is put on by the bid. And it's really an event that showcases, where DC is, downtown is, economically, and the next 12 months ahead. And then public art continues to be something that we're leaning in on. And I know, is Ted from 1882 on? Is he on the agenda today?
Yes.
Awesome. So I won't steal his thunder, but public art will be is something that we will continue to lean on as an activation tool and a way to drive more foot traffic. Anthem Row, I don't know if you've been there recently, but we really created this cherry blossom experience, and it's drawing hundreds of people every day that weren't coming there before, just to come in a passive way. Look, it's not driving people just to come see that experience, but it's keeping people here longer so that are already coming into downtown. But then it's also getting them to another part of downtown, which is a way to connect our businesses and really driving the economic impact. And then our safety team continues, to the work that we've been doing literally for the last 2 years, actually. And it's really about generating data through the use of our operations app, but really the business check-ins, the wellness checks, those are a big component of that. And I spoke about that earlier. And then I appreciate everyone for giving me this platform to come and talk about the work that we're doing, but then also an opportunity for you to ask me some questions about some of the challenges you might be facing that we could continue to support.
Commissioners, thank you so much, Lucas. Commissioners, do you have any questions for Lucas and the Downtown Bend? To any community members? Mr. Cohen,
Andrew.
you're up.
Hey there. Yeah, thanks for chatting with me via email. Just posted a question in the chat. Wondering if you had a chance to engage that Rough Riders drumming group, maybe get them involved as an alternative to being sort of unsanctioned on the street.
Yeah, no, we reached out to them and we're trying to figure out an activation for them to be part of. So yeah, we have been in touch with them. And just continue to figure out ways to incorporate them into some of the activations that we're doing.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, any way to kind of redirect that in a positive, constructive way would be great.
May I, and I think I might have asked this already, if they moved across the street, would that make it wouldn't be directly under you? And I'm not saying, I mean, I'm just trying to find creative solutions that allow, they really allow the residents to be at peace with some of the things that are happening. Do you think that would help, Andrew?
I'll put it to you two ways. When they're performing, you can hear them up and down a couple of blocks in either direction, but every little bit helps to get them out of that kind of tunnel. area where the noise bounces off. So short answer, worth a try. Thank you.
Yeah.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much, Lucas. We appreciate you being here, and thanks for the update.
Thank you, everyone. I'm
Lots of
excited
good
to
stuff
hear
coming up.
Ted's. Oh, absolutely. And I'm excited to hear Ted's presentation.
Terrific. Awesome. We now have community announcements. This is an added item to our agenda, and this is Ted Gong from the 1882 Foundation, who's going to present on 2 items for us this evening.
Those people. So thanks, Michael, and thanks, Jeff, for bringing us on at the last minute. But for those people unfamiliar with the 1882 Foundation, I left some material there for you to pick up so you sort of know what we do. We've been here doing work in Chinatown and around the country, actually, related to historical preservation of Chinese culture and heritage. What I want to talk about is a mural that we're going to put up, and there is a sample over there. I mean, that's an artist rendition of what we're going to do. You just show it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here we go. Oh.
Here, I'll take it here, and we'll just put it right in front for them to see it.
But before doing that, I want to reverse the order a little bit. I do want to spend the time talking about this mural and answering your questions, and because it's going to come up by July 4th. That's what we're trying to do. But we also have 2 other projects that we're working on, and I just wanted to mention that because very recently Chinatown has had a lot of attention to what is happening and what is being planned for Chinatown and in relationship to the downtown development. So I want to mention that we have 2 projects which you should pay attention to, and I will be able, Michael, and if you want a longer description of what those things involve. One is called the Beansprout Factory project, and that's linked with the monument property development behind Tony Chun's. And what will happen in the 2 years time frame is that we, 1882 Foundation, receive a community space, which we want to use to develop into like a place that attracts young mothers and children. I think so many of the things that we build in Chinatown are for the adults or the semi-adults.
Yes.
But I think that if we want to really attract a healthy audience and the day and doing things that relate to heritage and so forth, we ought to try to produce a space where mothers can bring their kids, the young kids, and to learn about Chinese American literature, writing books, crafts, and so forth. So that's what our plan is. I think Monument Property has been working with us for several years, actually, about that space. And I want to give a shout out to Dana Burgess, who was also involved in that original space several years ago. And we're all working together to try to make this a place. It's going to be behind Tony Chun's, where we're going to have basically a community place targeted for the young mothers and the children's and the crafts. And then I think what we're going to do is try to expand that to look at the entire area behind Tony Chun's. I think there's so much thought to producing a new Chinatown, an urban redesign. I think that one of the thoughts that we have been putting forth, and again, I'll try to give you a description later about it, is to create like a central market area where people can circle around shops that involve the children's community area, maybe some food stalls around that involve Luna Hall or even the back of Tony Chun's, and make a weekend market thing. And I think that would be something we ought to look at. The second thing is that we're working on is that we're working with the Rift Valley project, which is the hotel project on H Street, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And that project, we've been talking about it for several years. And the concepts that we're working is how do you get the property developer, in this case, Rift Valley, to work with the neighboring spaces. So there's a temple, there's a temple there in the corner, and there is an acupuncture herb shop and a grocery store. How do you get these three property owners working collaboratively with the hotel developers and the other people? So that's another long-term project, I think, that has some benefits for us for a lot of things. And we've also talking about how do you create space and programs that bring in young entrepreneurs, that kind of thing. So those are two projects to look out for. Now, when the time comes, I'll ask you for a time and we can explain what it all is about.
Sure.
For today, I want to talk about this mural. And that's a space where it is over there. This is the mural we're planning to do. This is a mural of a woman, Chinese American woman, New York activist who was a suffragette. And she advocated for the voting rights for women at a time when she could not become an American citizen because of the Chinese Exclusion Act. And when the 19th Amendment was actually passed, she still could not become an American citizen because of those exclusion acts. But she was also, I think if you want to pick up some material there that gives a background about her, she was one of the first Chinese American women to get a PhD in economics from Columbia. She was an advocate of women's civic rights and participation. She advocated for that and wrote about it. Now, we have already started this. If you look at this, if you can recognize it, the other picture where it is, this is the space where the Chinatown Garden restaurant is. That's the wall where Chinatown, that's where the portrait, the mural of Joaquin Oliver is. And so this will help complement that mural, which basically talks about demand change and so forth. This one talks about vote. It's your voice, or use your voice. And we hope that this will be completed. We're already starting the preparation of the wall for this. The painter will be coming in about 2 or 3 weeks. And we hope that that can be done in time for May APA Heritage Month, but the official opening will be July 4th, 2026. We wanted also to help celebrate DC 250 as well as USA 250, right? I think this is such a meaningful mural for all of us, especially in Chinatown, where we can have a Chinese American hero or heroine, right? And at the nation's capital. And I honestly don't think you can find another portrait with this much significance almost anywhere in the United States. And to have it here in Washington will create, I think, another great attraction for us to bring people and talk about us being part of, and us very much, the Chinatown community being part of this American democracy, something that I think is so important to remind us of this coming election year and so forth. Anyway, and Lucas, by the way, I also want to give a shout out to Lucas and Downtown Bid, who has also been so supportive and brought all the connections to us to do things. So Lucas, thanks so much. And Downtown Bid, so much for the support it is. If I have postcards here, if people are interested in learning a little bit more, and in fact, there is a donation QR code for donations. And if you donate before July 4th, I have a private donor who says she will double your amount.
Oh, great.
So
Also, I want to
the
highlight.
website.
Oh, sorry about that, Ted.
Look at the QR code. Okay. 1882foundation.org. Yes, /Mabel. So go to that, make your donation, however it is. It gets doubled before the July 4th, right? Any amount.
Awesome.
Will there be any sort of watch party as this
Yes.
mural goes up.
Thank you for asking that, because our goal is, as the painting is going up, we want to have certain events come meet the artist. The artist is Jeff Huntington. He's pretty well known around the world. Actually, he was a State Department artist and doing things that promoted murals as a way of bringing together young people and communities. So we're very happy to have him here. And he'll be starting in about 2 weeks, after 2 or 3 weeks. And what we hope to do is have events and maybe people come meet the artists. We might have a reception just before an APA Heritage Month, which is May. We hope that by mid-May we can have a small reception on the rooftop Chinatown Garden, but maybe in the garden itself. And of course, you guys are totally invited. So everybody, we want people to come. And then as we approach the July 4th, and July 4th will be our official opening, then we hope that we have that double meaning, the birth, 4th of July, honoring a person whose history and so forth, history as Chinese American history is not that well known, but as a Chinese American woman in the history, that is even less known. And I think that this brings all those stories together. Any thoughts?
Any questions from anyone, commissioners? I just think this is awesome. It's going to be a great addition to the Chinatown area, and I love the story that you have indicated. It's so powerful. So really good. Thank you.
So much.
I second that. I also just wonder if you've done any coordination with Tim Ma and Winston Lord.
Yes, so Tim Ma and Winston we've been talking with them all the time, not only for this, but for all the other projects that we're looking at Chinatown. Just a quick plug, all that stuff that we're doing in Chinatown is related to the development of downtown.
Yeah.
And I think that is a key thing. We got to look beyond. If we want to preserve Chinatown, it is in the preservation of the whole, not just the preservation, but the revitalization of this area, is how we link together with these places, city center and other places as well. And like I say, when we have time, I'll show you where our plan is for the layout, urban redevelopment, and so forth.
Excellent.
Sounds good.
It's great.
Thank you so very much.
I think this also highlights, is really a lot of the collaboration that's really happening in our communities right now, because this was not only the mural, but just the work that is happening right now, particularly around Chinatown, between 1882, the Chinatown Solidarity Group, Downtown DC Bid, Tim Ma, and Winston, all coming together and really, I mean, it's very powerful movement with so many groups that have interest in the community. And Thomas, we were there at the event at the happy hour. I mean, I'm so excited about this movement and like the collaboration happening. I think it's gonna be a great thing. And thank you, Ted, for being a big part of that.
Thank you.
Honestly speaking, one of the things we really watch over, how do we collaborate, not just across the communities, but across our generations. I think one of the great things that's happening, Lucas, and you talk about this most recently, Midnight Madness and all this other stuff, we're bringing in the younger people. So what we love to do, and I love to talk more about it, how do you create a fund that attracts the young entrepreneurs, give them, and that's one of the big projects we want to do with the Rift Valley project.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much. We appreciate you being here. And if you do not know the 1882 Foundation, please look them up. And the website address for the matching donation is 1882foundation.org/Mabel. Terrific. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Awesome. We We have, next is our community grants. Whoops, thank you. Is our community grants. We did receive notice. We had some questions about the Save Chinatown Solidarity Network request for a reimbursement expense related to the 2021 or the February 2026 a Lunar New Year celebration. We did receive clarity on that, on what that item was for. And I would like to move that we pay for that expense.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Lee. All those in favor? So 3 of 3 commissioners voting in favor of that. So we will, when you're back in town, Commissioner Wood can get that processed.
Yes, sir.
Next on our agenda is local events that impact the community. This is the consent agenda. This is for the Marine Corps Marathon, which will be held on October 25th, 2026. Ooh, I can't believe we're talking about October, but it was just right around the corner. This is an event that has been a longstanding event to come through ANC 2C and other parts of the city and Northern Virginia. It's a great event that we've always had, and I'd like to move that we send a letter of support for the Marine Corps Marathon on October 25th, 2026.
I second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Swart. And all those in favor?
Aye.
So there's 3 of 3 commissioners voting in favor of that. Got it. Next up on our agenda, we'll move forward to alcoholic beverage and cannabis licensing. We have Hall Pass DC LLC. Trade name is Hall Pass. It's for a retailer's Class C tavern. This is a substantial change to the license. This is ABRA 135192, and it's at 7047 7th Street Northwest. Manel, are you on with us?
Good evening, commissioners.
Hey, good evening. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm Manal Mahmood with Malleus O'Brien Sandground. Commissioner Schenkel, I actually had emailed you. APCA made a small error. This is actually a new CT license. It's not a substantial change.
Oh, got it. Because I didn't recognize the name.
But the correct placard is posted on the premises, but the wrong one was initially posted online. But APCA has since posted the correct one. So this is a new CT license. It's going to be an American German beer hall. They actually did have a pop-up in the space for March Madness for the weekends only. It was, quite a success. It's located at 704 7th Street. I believe that used to be the Eat Burgers.
Oh, yes.
And the capacity is 85 seats and a total occupancy load of 100. And the requested hours are Sunday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. And this has no outdoor space. This is completely indoors, and an entertainment endorsement for live music as well.
Got it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just glad, people are taking interest in these spaces. It's been a while with the space.
Yes. Completely.
Agreed. I think this is great. To my knowledge, there's not residential properties above that, and no outdoor area. So this seems ideal. And I'd like to move that we send a letter of support for Hall Pass DC LLC.
We are also hoping for a stipulated license.
Yes.
Yes.
So the letter of support for the license first. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Swart. And all those in favor? So 3 of 3 commissioners voting in favor of that. And we'd like to move forward with sending a stipulated license for Hall Pass DC as well. And is there a motion? Sorry. I move that we send. I'll get this right. You know, this is my 7:30 is my hour of like. Blah. So I'd like to move that we send a stipulated license as well. Approval for a stipulated license for Hall Pass DC as well. Is there a second?
I second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Swart. And all those in favor could acknowledge. So 3 of 3 commissioners voting in favor of that. We have 2 hands that I see. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure why mine is up.
Okay, got it. Did you have something? Thomas?
We seem to have 3
No.
hands.
Okay, gotcha. And we have all hands up. Okay, all hands on deck. Terrific. Well, thank you so very much. We appreciate you for being here with us tonight. Thank you. We'll
Thank
get
you
those
so much
letters.
for having me, commissioners.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is Taste of History LLC. This is a new retailer's Class C tavern license. And the location of record is 511 Jefferson Drive Southwest. This is Abra 135581. Is someone representing the establishment on?
Yes, sir. Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Hey, Lauren, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for your time and allowing me to join.
Most definitely.
Yes, I will be representing Taste of History LLC. We were recently awarded a concession contract with the National Park Service. So we will be operating the concession kiosks on the National Mall located at, like you mentioned, 511 Jefferson Drive Southwest. Here we are applying for the Class C tavern retail license for beer, wine, and spirits. There is no inside space at these kiosks. It's all an outdoor summer garden area. And we do have signage that we will be posting on site for consumers to consume their beverages within the outdoor seating area. In accordance with the National Park Service and their regulations. So I am here today to also ask for review of a letter of support and our stipulated license.
Got it. What are your hours of operation?
Oh, yes, sorry. It will be proposed Sunday through Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Got it. Terrific. Well, congratulations on winning the contract. That is fantastic.
Thank you. Very
I'd like
excited.
to move that we send a letter of support for the license for Taste of History LLC.
I second.
Seconded by Commissioner Lee. All those in favor? So 3 of 3 commissioners voting in favor of that. And I would also like to move that we send a letter of support for a stipulated license for Taste of History LLC as well.
I second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Swart. And all those in favor? So
Aye.
3 of 3 commissioners voting in favor of that. So we will get that letter off right away for you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
I do have one question that's for Thomas. Is that within your
Yeah,
SMD?
I believe so. It's on the National Mall. Is this
Yes.
the one? Are you also the operator of the one in front of the Air and Space Museum?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Oh, that's great. I've been there like 6 times with my wife on, for lunch hour.
Awesome.
It's been
Hope you come back. We open May
really
1st.
amazing. Okay, we will be there. Everyone do check it out. It does elevate the food, food options on the National Mall, above burgers and fries, and you're not just reliant on the food trucks, but some really interesting stuff here as well. Really good beer options and cocktail options as well.
Glad to hear that. Thank you so much.
We will now move forward with resolutions. There is a resolution that I believe is, it's the, I think I did this. Is this, Thomas, I believe this might be you, a threat to the National Mall portion of 15th Street protected bike lane?
You know what? I have been traveling and I've not been on top of this portion of it. Is it? Can you pull it up on the screen, Michael?
I do not have the resolution. That's why I was asking.
I mean, it was not. It was not my resolution.
Oh, it was
but I
not.
think
Okay.
it was a.
Okay. Well,
Do you want to read it out loud, or what do you want to do, Michael?
I will suggest that let me just make sure that it's not in my file here. Quickly, I'm sorry. It is not in my file. So I'd like to move that we table this resolution.
Okay.
I second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Swart. We will now move forward with transportation public space. And we have a petition by residents and businesses of 1010 Mass Ave to amend the bus lane use on 11th Street and Massachusetts Avenue. Hi. Yeah, if you could use the mic so they can hear you online, that would be great.
Public speaker, but I will read my notes. So
You are fantastic.
You sound good so far.
So good. Good. So I'm Elaine Zuppi from 1010. I represent the residents and the neighbors in support of modifying the current bus lane configuration on it's 11. We have 1100, the 1100 block of 11th Street Northwest, Mass and 11th. We want to be clear on from the beginning, we support bus priority during peak hours and recognize the importance of reliable transit in downtown DC. Our request is not to remove the bus lane, but to align its use with actual demand. The lanes operate as a full-time bus lane only, which eliminates all curb access at all hours. For a mixed-use building like ours, 162 units and ground floor retail, this has become a challenge. Residents, including those with mobility needs, no longer have reasonable curb access outside of rush hour. The nearest accessible parking is over 300 feet away. Delivery service providers and even basic pickup and drop-off activities have become significantly more difficult. At the same time, the lane is often underutilized during evening and weekend hours. Our request is straightforward. We're asking the ANC to support a resolution urging DDOT to maintain the bus lanes during peak weekday hours, but restore curbside parking during non-peak times, including evening and weekends, and conduct a post-implementation review to ensure the balance is working. This approach already exists in other DC corridors and reflects a common sense shared use model that supports both transit and the surrounding community. There was a resident, right, but I don't see that. I don't know that he's there. Aram. He
Is anybody on representing a commercial unit there? I don't see him on there. Okay.
Is there anything? Okay.
This bus lane is a newer addition.
Yes.
To the street.
Yes.
And it is currently impeding folks from drop off and for business deliveries.
So
yes.
Peach cobbler.
Right.
Speak in the mic.
And it also
And the person who was going to be here is with the goat.
He is the owner of one of the retail.
Okay.
Right. Why is it?
right.
Mhm.
And how long has the bus lane been there?
Oh,
Do you know?
maybe a year,
Yeah,
about a year.
a year,
Right.
about a
With
year in the
the
process.
bike lanes in and the,
Yeah, when that,
Yeah,
all that went
right,
in,
exactly.
the bus went in as well. Okay. Got it. And this is not working in that zone, that location. And you are asking for for DDOT to allow the bus lanes on non-peak or yeah, to suspend them during non-peak hours
Exactly.
and allow curbside
Parking.
parking and
Correct.
delivery.
Correct.
Okay.
You
Oh,
have you
right, the
reached,
church, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Thomas.
I have a question. Have you reached out to DDOT and what have they said? Have they responded? Have you reached out? Have you spoken to them and have they responded?
We're supposed to start. This is the step one.
Step one, you're supposed to start here. Okay. Gotcha.
So no.
Got it.
I mean, I'm very sympathetic to you know the concerns of your residents and local businesses. I have also done some courses in transportation, planning, and I know how difficult creating these high priority, well serviced routes can be as well. And so I know there's a balance. Yeah, I mean, if we can strike a balance, that's wonderful. I just want to make sure that that the buses operate and that they can achieve the speedy and efficient times that they need in order to make sure that that bus travel becomes remains a viable transit option for many people in the city, while at the same time balancing local needs as well. So I mean, I would like to hear from certainly I'd like to hear from DDOT to make sure that to simply get their background, sort of get their thoughts on this and what they can do to address your concerns.
And is that something the ANC does?
Yeah, we can request that they look at this and determine what potential solutions could be for it. Just to clarify, and I believe this is the case. You do not have a loading dock for businesses to
Behind our building, we're 1010.
Yes.
Next door is Cato.
Okay,
There is a loading dock. There's an alley, a T.
a T
Right.
alley.
One goes to 10th, one goes to 11th and Mass.
Okay,
You know
gotcha.
what I mean?
Yes.
So the hotel, Moxie, the Moxie Hotel uses that.
Yes.
So they load and unload a lot, and it often blocks the 10th. It's usually the 10th Street exit entrance. And we've asked them a number of times to put the truck a certain way, and they don't do it. So peach cobbler is the worst though, and especially now that's getting warmer, people double park. They
When they
and in 1010, our entrance to the garage is in the back.
yes.
They block the entrance, they block the side, and it can be a nightmare.
Right, because you have to enter through the alleyway to get to your garage.
2 hours.
Yes.
So does Cato.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I would like to thank you for bringing this to us. I'd like to move that we send a letter to DDOT asking them to evaluate potential solutions in the 1100 block of 11th Street related to the bus priority lane and inability for residents for drop off and for deliveries.
My second.
Oh, and the potential of adding parking back to that block.
Because you're talking about a lot of restaurants. Yeah.
Yeah. Goat, yes.
The goat room. Yeah. Sure. Mhm. Yes. Right. Mhm. Yes. Mhm.
Got it. So let's send a letter requesting them to evaluate this and to see to come back to us with potential remedies to this.
And is there anything in what you have written to this point that you wish to sharpen up? Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. Mhm. Right. Mhm.
Right.
Mhm. Right. Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes. Right. Right.
Right.
Okay. Yes.
Or the bus stops they wound up locating them weren't necessarily, at least in my mind,
Yeah.
as convenient as they could have been.
Yeah. Is there a second for the motion?
I second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Swart. And all those in favor of that letter?
Aye.
So 3 of 3 voting in favor of that. Okay. Awesome. We will get that letter off and I'll probably reach out to you and just clarify a couple things. Okay? You're quite welcome. Thank you. Next on our agenda is the D.M Street Corridor Safety Project. And Nicole, are you with us this evening?
I am, yes.
Hey, Nicole, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent, thank you.
Can you see my presentation?
Oh, here's D-Dot.
Yes, we see the presentation.
Great. So my name is Nicole Hentrup, and I'm the project manager for the M Street Northwest Corridor Safety Project. I am going to share a little bit about my team to start out. So I am on the Corridor Safety Projects team, and our role typically is to deliver targeted safety treatments along priority corridors. That includes implementing spot improvements at high-risk intersections. So our efforts focus mainly on DC's high injury network. We prioritize vulnerable road users, and we typically work to improve existing conditions. So our approach is through quick build improvements delivered within about a year, and we work in close coordination for rapid design and installation. And our goal is to reduce severe crashes and create safer and more predictable corridors. So some things that we don't focus on are major infrastructure projects that would require multiple years of planning and construction or new bike facilities. So the project area that we're looking at for this is from Thomas Circle to 28th Street. And as you all are likely aware, M Street Northwest serves westbound vehicle and bicycle traffic. It's a high injury corridor, high pedestrian activity, and while there is a protected bike lane, there are gaps that exist in it, as well as mixing zones between the right turn lanes and the bike lane. So just an overview of our project goals. We plan to upgrade the existing bike lane to increase safety and comfort, while also maintaining acceptable levels of traffic delay. We're working to eliminate or reduce conflicts between vehicles and vulnerable road users, while still preserving access for parking and curbside loading. So throughout the project, there are some key corridor treatments that we're applying. That includes protected space for people walking, biking, and rolling, traffic signal enhancements, enhanced visibility for sight distance, minimizing turning conflicts, as well as parking and curbside management. So just diving into those a little bit more, that protected space for people walking, biking, and rolling includes filling the gaps in, like I mentioned, limiting the mixing zones, adding in protected corners, as well as bike lane striping through the intersections and pedestrian refuge islands. Then jumping to enhanced visibility, that will include restricting parking near intersections, alleys, and driveways. And the traffic signal enhancements, we will be adding a separated bike phase and right turn phase, as well as implementing leading pedestrian intervals where they don't currently exist, as well as accessible pedestrian signals and reflective backplates on traffic signals that you can see down in the bottom picture. We'll also work to minimize turning conflicts, so that includes left and right turn traffic calming, no turn on red signage, as well as eliminating those dual turn lanes that exist along this corridor. And as for parking and curbside management, we do plan to convert peak period restricted parking to full-time parking, as well as improving the hotel pickup and drop-off zones that exist along the corridor. So just wanted to let you know that our open comment period closes April 21st, and those comments will inform our final concept and a quick summary of our timeline. So right now we're in concept planning and community engagement, but you all will hear from us again during the NOI period, which should happen between now and spring 2027, and we're targeting for construction start in the summer of 2027. I'll just quickly flash up our QR code to our website, as well as a link there. You can add comments to the concept on our website or email them to me, and I'm happy to take any questions you all have about our project.
Could you jump back a couple slides?
Of course.
Right. Hold on. Just the one where you're talking. Okay, right here. I think so. You are converting. Your desire is to convert peak period restricted parking to full-time parking. Where would this be? Is that where the tan is?
No. So it's hard to see in this image, I will say, and I could maybe follow up with you on like some images of like existing versus future, but essentially right now the lane that you're seeing or this parking is currently peak period restricted. It's a bit hard to see in the image itself, but
got it.
Since I'm only showing you future, this is a little bit difficult to point out, but we're taking anywhere where right now it's 3 travel lanes going through, dropping that in certain places to make that peak period or to make that full-time parking.
Got it. And what does you said something about traffic flow times or flow, what there is, I think the slide before this, maybe it was 2 before. Yeah, right there.
Back in here, maybe.
Right. It's acceptable levels of traffic delays. What is that?
I would say we're going to maintain what is currently out there. So the way the traffic flows, we will not be impeding upon that. That's what I'll consider our acceptable delay I'm trying to convey there. We're not going to make conditions worse. There's capacity along the corridor for us to do these improvements.
But you're going from 3 lanes to 2 lanes.
Yes, from what we've seen in our preliminary traffic analysis, this corridor has enough capacity to make the changes that we're proposing.
Got it. Okay. Commissioners?
Mm-hmm. I don't see any. I don't have any concerns about this now.
Is there a motion?
No. Do you want to make a motion? I'll second. I motion that we support this initiative.
Okay, so there is a motion on the floor to send a letter of support for the D.M Street Northwest Corridor Safety Project.
I do have one question.
Yeah, could you activate your mic?
I do have one question, if I may. What coordination has been done thus far with all those who might be impacted in this
Sure. So
situation?
I've met with the ANCs along the corridor as well as the bids. I've been in contact with the fire station one that's along the corridor as well. And I encourage you, please, to share as much as you can as well in your communities. We're hoping to get as many comments as we can on our website or through my email. Is there anyone in particular you're hoping I communicate with?
No, it's just my question is I'm wondering how those who will be impacted other than the bike riders, how they're handling this. Will they be in favor of this or will there be pushback?
Okay.
And I think that for me, I don't want to get into a situation like the folks before us were here and they said, well, this isn't working for us now. After all this work has gone into redesigning this, without their input into something. So Commissioner Lee has a motion on the table to send a letter of support. Is there a second or is there a modification?
Seems to be another question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, how's everybody? Hi, my name's
Good, thank you. How are
Kelly.
you?
I'm also with the actually I wanted to clarify one thing. So this is not a new bike lane project. So bike lanes are already there. So we are basically upgrading existing ones. So we are mostly focusing on intersection safety. So when you talk about impact, we actually think a lot of parking impact, those kind of big changes. But in that sense, we do believe the parking change will be very minimal. So it's more so the lane configuration changes, signal timing, intersection safety by installing some new pedestrian island. So it'll be a little bit different approach than, new bike lane or new bus priority project. So it's more so corridor level safety. So I just want to clarify that.
Got it. But you are reducing lanes and what would you be adding the lane reduction? What would you be adding to that area that you're taking away from travel lanes?
Sure. I think Nicole can go deep into it, but basically we are adding a lot of markings and we are trying to use less of those flex posts, more so markings.
Please.
Yeah. So
Those
markings,
flex
so
posts drive me
basically,
crazy.
it may allow very 10-second drop off, pick up and drop off may possible, but no parking definitely. It's not safe. So, and also I think some commissioner mentioned that 3 lane to 2 lane sounds like we're reducing travel lanes, so the congestion will go really bad. But based on multiple studies, we found that those road diet we call lane reduction project actually improve congestion is because we are reducing a lot of conflict points, not a lot of turning conflicts. So if you go through, you can continue to go through, without any conflict. So actually those kind of a myth that, congestion will get worse. I mean, we have a different program called before and after analysis. So we have a lot of, studies to prove that. So I just wanted to mention that as well.
Got it. So thank you for that. I appreciate that feedback. So Thomas has a motion on the floor to send a letter of support. Is there a second?
I second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Swart. All those in favor? So 3 of 3 commissioners voting in favor of that. So we'll send a letter of support over to you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate your time tonight.
Any comment? Thank you very much. We will now move forward with planning, zoning, environment, and historic preservation. We have first up zoning commission case 94-01B, a PUD modification without a hearing, and this is for 1331 L Street. I see Lee Templin on with us.
And you also have Boris Melich with Lincoln Property Company on behalf of 1331 L Street ownership.
Got it. Terrific.
And let me
Do
just
you-
pull up the presentation.
Yeah. Well, just a brief intro. We've been part of this community for some time, and I've had the pleasure of attending prior ANC meetings, and really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you tonight, even virtually. Joining me are construction manager and architects as well that are working with us on this project, and just want to walk you through this really brief proposal for the property. As you know, the building is currently vacant, and we are currently working to reposition it in a way that makes it more attractive to prospective tenants, and with something that's a little bit more aligned with the needs of the neighborhood and the market. And some of these improvements are primarily aesthetic in nature, and these updates will significantly enhance the interior environment of the building and really the appeal. So we believe this will support our leasing efforts and help bring the new activity to the property. And ultimately, our goal is to contribute positively to the whole community and activate this currently underutilized space. So we look forward to sharing more details and happy to answer any questions. So I'll hand it off to Lee.
Thanks, Boris. And I think either Chris Haverkamp or Derek Wood from Corrigan, the project architect, is on. I don't know if one of you would like to walk through the presentation just to give a brief overview of the design.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Lee, and thank you to the commissioners for having us tonight. As Boris outlined, just to provide some contextual relation to it, we're talking on 1331 L Street and between 14th and 15th between Franklin Park and Thomas Circle. This is an inherited PUD from the existing building. Lee, if you want to jump to the next one, the building is predominantly office building, and as Boris said, the entire building is vacant today. So what we're looking at doing is providing a bunch of amenizations to the building, specifically on the ground floor, and then as well as the penthouse. So where we're actually seeking modification to the PUD specifically is related to the ground floor entry point to the building. We're planning on removing the existing canopy structure that is signifying the entrance to the building and putting in a new vestibule and canopy in that location with some additional signage. And then, Lee, if you jump to the next one, also leaving the ability to put on the potential future tenant signage for any of the uses that occur on the interior of that space as well. And then lastly, the other addition to which we're seeking the PUD modification is related to the penthouse structure. This is an existing mechanical penthouse structure. It has a building engineer's office and corridor access to an exterior roof deck. We're not proposing anything on the exterior in terms of modification, but we are putting an interior use on the inside of the building. So, Lee, yeah, thank you. This is the additional interior habitable area that we would be providing to the penthouse structure, and this would be subject to the affordable housing linkage payment.
Thanks, Chris.
So, oh yeah, go ahead, Lee.
Thanks. My name is Lee Templin. I'm with the law firm of Goulston and Storrs Land Use Counsel for the applicant. So as Chris outlined, the property is subject to a PUD that was approved in 1991 in Zoning Commission Order number 684, which authorized the mixed-use office and retail building that's there today. The application is for a modification without hearing because it consists of a redesign or relocation of architectural elements that were in the approved PUD plans. So the zoning commission case number is 94-01B. As a note, the applicant will also be making a contribution to the Housing Production Trust Fund for the new penthouse habitable space. The current anticipated amount of that contribution is about $84,000. And the zoning commission will consider the case at their April 30th public meeting. So we would like to request a vote of support, and with that, we'll conclude and happy to take any questions.
So the modification is to remove the vestibule and replace it
Yes.
with a new entrance, and then convert on the penthouse area, convert a space into a public space, a usable space?
It'll be penthouse habitable space. So the intent of the project is to attract office tenants. So it'll be amenity space on the rooftop. So to kind of sum up the project, it's those changes to the ground floor that Chris highlighted, some interior renovations, and then changes to the penthouse as well.
Got it.
So this basically will remain an office setting.
Correct.
I don't see any issues with this at all. I'd like to move that we send a letter of support for Zoning Commission case 94-01B.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Lee. And all those in favor? So 3 of 3 commissioners voting in favor of that. Terrific.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Get that off for you. Thank you so much. Next up is DC Chinatown Hotel Owner LLC. This is 503 517 H Street Northwest. I believe, I don't know if we have Christopher on, but we have Stefan on as well this evening.
Yep. Christopher couldn't make it, so this is Stefan Rodiger. I'm in his stead. I'm managing partner at Rift Valley Capital, and I'm here to seek your support for a 2-year extension to our approved BZA Order 20974, which was approved by the BZA in April of 2024. And since the approval and the final order issued May 9th of 2024, we've advanced the project in good faith, despite, as everyone knows, some challenging economic conditions. Just to recap what we're trying to do with this hotel, it's a 154-key Marriott Tribute Hotel, and we have signed a Marriott franchise agreement defining kind of our standards and specification requirements. We have now hired a hotel operator that has provided guidance on all the room mix, the amenities, operations. We've raised LP and GP equity for moving the hotel project forward. We work with HPO and our consultant traceries to document the historic buildings and come up with a preservation plan with which HPO has approved. We've hired Clark Construction as our pre-con estimator to provide guidance on our GMP contract. So they're the ones building the Capital One Arena. And probably most importantly, we've continued to engage the Chinatown neighborhood community and made commitments to the community to operate an Asian market and also to lease a space to a business nonprofit that enhances the cultural heritage of Chinatown. And finally, donating $300,000 to the Chinatown Long-Term Lease Grant Program. So we've done that. And then at the end of 2025, we've actually closed on the assemblage, which took 4 years to do. So we finally closed it all and put it into one ownership entity. So with that all being said, we still need time to finish our construction drawings and pull the building permits and then close on our debt financing to commence the construction by the end of 2027. And that's really why we're asking for a 2-year extension, so we can try to get all this, the remaining pieces done, so we can start construction in the next year.
Gotcha. So this is just extending the BZA order to develop the property as now as a hotel.
Correct. Yes.
Yes. I know how difficult these times have been as well, with everything going on. I'd like to move that we send a letter of support for the 2-year time extension.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Lee. Any questions, concerns? I'd like to take a vote. 3, it looks like 3. Oh, question. Comments. I'm sorry. We'll hold there for a second. Please, please, please. Thank you.
Which is at 809 6th Street Northwest. And I on behalf of.
Oh, could you get closer to the microphone? I'm having trouble hearing you.
Is that better?
Yes.
I'm now I'm president of the board of Chinatown. Just going to get it very close by to the development. So sharing again residents' concerns about the height of the current structure as well as future additional maintenance. Our board will be continuing our talks to address those concerns as the shading of the post development building caps our rooftop, which also has our solar power panels, and our rooftop is actually our shared common space for our entire condo as well. In addition, we are concerned about the alleyway the building lines to making sure that whatever vehicles that pass through have the ability to do so without harming the buildings as well as without disruption to the traffic control in that area. And so just wanted to share that again. Thank you for our community.
Is this an issue that was brought up at the last meeting that we had?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for that. That is a very narrow alleyway, and I know that your building has been impacted by trucks in the past that have hit the building or have done damage to the building in that process. So I recognize that. I'm glad that you are talking with Stefan and the developer around potential remedies and remediation with that. So that is awesome that is happening, and I encourage that from both sides to continue to happen so that we can come to an applicable situation here as well. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I think the microphone battery died. Please, we have one more comment. Please stand by 1 second for us. Yes, I'm going to switch back.
I appreciate what you were saying about engaging the community. And Ted earlier also mentioned, ongoing conversations he's been having with y'all. And so we hope to continue those talks with residents of the local affordable housing buildings that you've been in touch with, as well as the Safe Chinatown Solidarity Network. I just had two quick questions. One, will the extension of this BZA order, thanks, Michael. So it'll just be the same provisions of the underlying order, and it'll just extend that 2-year period. The provisions and sort of the content of the order will be the same. Is that correct?
The BZA order, correct me if I'm wrong, Stefan.
Yeah.
The BZA order is that they have indicated that they are going to develop the property. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, it does not change the summary order from May 9th of 2024. It just provides a 2-year extension before it expires. So then it now will the same exact summary order would expire on May 9th, 2028.
Great.
28. And correct me if I'm wrong, if the summary order that is different than the zoning change that happened. Is that correct? Or is that part of it?
This is part of the historic preservation approval back in 2024. So it's separate than the March 2026 historic preservation approval. So in fact, we will have to come back to the ANC again, and talk about our latest BZA order request, which we're submitting at the end of this week. So we will be back to talk about that zoning order.
Got it. Got it. So this is basically extending their right to develop the property.
Thanks. And just last question. Is my understanding that you all had pursued potentially an amendment to the office to anything tax abatement to support some of the financing for the project? And I was wondering if you could speak to, I believe that amendment was passed, and whether that's something that is involved in the development project now, if you could speak to that.
Yes. So we're going to reapply we applied and got our pre-screening form approved for the office to anything tax freeze. And with that, we had specific requirements and commitments, I would say, for that, which is, the Asian market and leasing, retail space to, small businesses, nonprofits in the Chinatown neighborhood, and then donating $300,000 to the lease grant program in DC. So yes, we are participating. We plan to participate as long as we get that approval past our pre-screening form to our application itself.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to call the vote on the motion that was previously made and seconded to send a letter of support for the BZA 2-year extension. All those in favor? So 3 of 3 commissioners voting in favor of that. We will get that order off. Do you know when you're going to submit that? Or
we submitted the 2-year extension last week. It was accepted by the BZA, but as you know, the BZA is not taking cases. So we think this will be heard in probably September.
Got it. Okay. Right.
Yep. Well, Steve, quick question for you. Did you guys settle on a color palette for the building? Or are you still considering?
Yeah, we have exterior color palette, not interiors. So we can show you kind of the red brick and kind of gold color combination of our renderings.
Excellent. Thank you, Stephen.
Yep, you got it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will now move forward with 601 F Street Northwest. This is Monumental Sports for the Capital One Arena streetscape design. Yay.
So,
well, good afternoon, Commissioner Schenkel,
good afternoon,
Swart, and Commissioner Lee. Let me first commence by thanking you all for your continued support of Monumental Sports throughout our entire process. We are a better organization. We have the support from ANC 2C, so we want to thank you for that publicly and definitely get that on the record. For those who don't know me, Crispus Gordon III, Vice President of Government Affairs and Strategic Engagement for Monumental Sports and Entertainment. I was hoping to have this conversation with you all in June, but that was not to be because of last night. But nevertheless, silver lining behind everything, we get to start a lot of the processes earlier. And I'm reminded of the fact that my mother is a school teacher. And one of the lessons I learned from her was speak about what you do know. Don't speak about things you don't know. Exactly. And so I know about government affairs. I don't know about engineering. So I'm going to be quiet. I have Brandon Melmerstein here from Gensler. He is going to give the presentation on what's going on outside of Capital One Arena. And also have my colleague from Kimberly Horn. She will also do the same thing. The presentation is, you should have the presentation. Yes, and we have someone who's online who has it as well. But I wanted to give that introduction.
Do you have someone who's online with it? Oh. Yes. Elaine, do you want to share? That would be great.
Sure. Yeah, I can share. Definitely.
And I neglected to mention my colleague, Adrian from Yes. Yes. Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
Brandon, all yours.
I guess while Elaine is pulling that up, just want to thank you again. As Crispus mentioned, I want to reiterate all of his sentiments. Thanks for having us. Just an overview. We wanted to go over some of the basics here before we jump into more detail here with this concept plan. Some of the things that have developed since our last time with you, we want to break it down to a few things. So safety, number one, that's always very important for us at Monumental, as well as all of our companies, I would imagine. So public safety is extremely important. So we have recalibrated some of our bollard design. The bollards on the north side of F Street have been taken out of the plan to keep the pedestrians just as safe here. We are putting adjustable bollards in the street and then adding some bollards on the south side of F Street. So you create that safety valve through bollards on 7th and 6th on both sides of F Street, but then in the middle of F Street, we have removed the bollards. This will help with pedestrian flow on that street as people move north-south there. So
yes.
And I
Point really quick.
Thank you. Yeah.
We removed the bollards along this F Street on that north curve.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
And we're providing barriers now across F Street, but we're still gonna have the barriers that you can move along in the street for events. There'll be some barriers here on that south curve.
Yep.
So create a barrier on each side.
And those bollards on the south side of the street have been, we've been speaking with our neighbors to the south. It is just reducing the amount of things out on F Street here. So it's just a cleaner look and achieving the same level of safety, which is obviously extremely important to all of us. So that's generally it for the safety aspect. Moving on to the curbs, just a quick overview of everything that we are doing here. On the F Street northern end of the northern side of F Street, we are bumping that 23 feet to the south. This will be gracious for pedestrians, and parking will be retained on the south side of the street. On 7th, we are bumping out 7 feet, which is on the left side there, and then 6th Street has remained the same. Moving on to trees, there has been a slight adjustment to the trees on the southeast of F Street on the block right there. That has been done to ensure that sight lines to all historic landmarks in the area have been either retained or improved. That's extremely important to all of us here, and we've been working closely with those involved in that to make sure that that's working correctly. And then tree canopy coverage is the same as existing. So all of that has retained or remained the same. In terms of aesthetics, a large change, as you can see, is the hardscape. We have shifted to match the Chinatown Steering Committee's guidelines, which is a 4x4 standard stamped concrete, which is replacing the red brick. This is their new guidelines, which has been done for, I believe, operational and safety reasons, with the red brick being a little dangerous at times.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that is, we also have a special moment at the north, which Elaine will go over, and some of our concept work up there. Lighting in general, 6th, 7th, and F, they're standard lighting. In the alleyway, we do have some non-standard lighting, but everything else is uniform that is on the public end of things. Edge planning at the planning areas is powder coated metal, and we are currently working through this with the city. And operationally, just a few updates here just to make sure they are addressed. The bus stop on 7th will remain after construction. Once that is completed, it has temporarily been relocated to the south of F Street for safety reasons. And then the metro station is open throughout construction. So now that we've gotten all of the not very fun, just facts out of the way, I want to hand it over to our amazing colleague, Elaine.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the introduction from the team. Good evening, everyone. This is Elaine from Henrico Associates. I'm the landscape architect for the project. Today, I'm going to share with you the updated landscape design of our project. So right now, you can see, as Brandon and the team already touched base a little bit on the overall design and the updates. Here you can see this is our site plan. So our project, as you already know, includes 3 streetscapes and 1 alley. And each space has a little bit different character. So we will walk you through along this space shortly. So here's the context plans, just showing you how our project ties into the existing neighborhood and with this updated curb alignment and the roadway restriping. And here is the F Street. So as mentioned, F Street sidewalk is expanding. With that, we can incorporate stormwater management, large greenery, and shade trees. At the same time, we can have sufficient hardscape for the pedestrian flow and also some gathering spaces. And this, you can see the organic shade planting areas are carefully studied based on the pedestrian circulation, the new arena entry, the metro access, and also the proposed feature wall. And as mentioned, we don't have any bollard along this street, so this space can be very pedestrian friendly for the pedestrian. And here, just additional sections showing different conditions along F streets with different configuration of the planting area along the street. So here is a perspective showing you the overall design of F Street. And this perspective showing you the west side in front of the metro entry, the new arena entry. And here you can see for the space, we keep mostly hardscape. This is because we would like to keep flexibility and also to accommodate the very heavy pedestrian flow during game day. And this perspective showing you the nice pedestrian-friendly sidewalk with this large planting and shade trees on each side of the street. And looking at the 6th Street, as Brendan already mentioned, the curb and lay-by will remain. The design team is proposing 4 new trees at their current locations. And because the curb and lay-by stay, we have limited space to incorporate more at-grade planting. And so the design team is proposing to incorporate movable planter pots to add greenery to the street and also enhance the pedestrian experience. So here's the rendering showing the design. Looking at 7th Street, this sidewalk is also expanding to accommodate multiple stormwater management areas and also maintain around 14 feet clear sidewalk around the arena. And as you can see, multiple cut-through will be provided so we can ensure the connectivity along the street. And this is overall design intent along the street. And just want to touch a little bit on the alley, which is the gallery placeway. So in this space, the design team is proposing to incorporate the Chinese-inspired element in this space, including the river paving pattern on the ground and some planter pots, which will include some Chinese culture-inspired plantings. So this space, we are aiming is not only to add greenery to the space, to activate the space, but also try to add another layers to celebrate this culture and tie into the Chinatown neighborhood. And we share these designs with the Chinatown Steering Committee and also the OP, and we receive very positive feedback from them. So here just a view showing the west side of the alley. And this is another view showing the east side. And as Brendan mentions, we keep most of the materials and site features as standard per the guidelines. We do have some non-standard, but also mostly happening in the alley and some elements like bollards or the metal edgings happening along the street. So this slide just showing you the materials and site feature and also noted which one is standard, which one is not standard. And this is an aerial view showing the overall streetscape design. And thank you. And we are open to any question you may have.
So just a couple of questions.
Sure.
So the south side of the street, you are removing the brick and doing the stamped concrete?
Yeah, that's universally throughout it, including the south. Yeah.
Including the south. Where we're seeing now.
Oh, sorry. You mean on the other side of F Street? No, we are not.
Just on your side.
Exactly.
Of the arena side.
Yes.
And so what we're seeing in the design now looks like just regular concrete. Is it going to be red brick? Like if you go back a slide or forward, I'm not sure which way you went. I looked away. Yes. So like where the folks are walking over here, this is going to be the stamped concrete?
So on the right side of that image it's a mashup of basically the old Chinatown Steering Committee standards and the new. So on the left side of the street has the old red brick, which I am assuming will be updated with further work.
Right.
not by this project, throughout the neighborhood. And then on the north side is the new standard, which will be, I am sure, moving throughout, but we are, the first ones to the fire here on this new standard for safety reasons. So
got it.
Does that make
sense? That's it. So it's not a red finish to that. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, perfect.
And on the north side, we are staining it to create that pattern that Elaine was mentioning.
The pattern. Gotcha. Okay. Secondly, is there a reason that you are not embedding ballards in the street, like where you currently have those movable things that you put up?
We're exploring a number of options that operate the same way in terms of the adjustable bollard. There's a number of them on the table. I don't believe we've landed on a specific model yet, but the idea would be that the street operates in the same way it does today, which is closed off on game day. It's just done in a much safer way and a much cleaner looking way. So there's a bunch of ways to do an adjustable bollard. It's just we haven't picked a specific model yet, and that's something we're working through with the
negotiations happening right now with, I know Rohan's here from B&D, from the mayor's office and Monumental Sports. So there are a lot of discussions just because of the complexities with all the utilities on F Street.
Yes, of course.
It is very significant. It is not an easy to put in anything in the street. So we're working through a lot of those right now. So that is yet to come on what a final decision is on what is going to happen with that.
Got it. And you're moving out the sidewalk. So I guess where the dotted line is where the sidewalk originally was.
Yes.
And you're moving out, and you're taking away, correct me if I'm wrong, on the north side of the street here, you're taking away the ballards that you have there.
There are no, I don't believe there are bollards there today.
You're adding them?
We are adding them. So the bollards come from a very specific set of guidelines from the NBA and Homeland Security. This building has not been compliant because it was built, before 2001 when everything kind of changed. So this is we're grandfathered in. Sorry, it is grandfathered in as many other facilities are around the country. I want to
of course
add that caveat. Apologies, but yeah, this is the process that just about every other building that's getting any work done is going through.
Got it. Okay, perfect.
We need to hear from.
Great. So we have, commissioners, do you have any questions?
I do have a question. It's related to your metro stop, not the metro stop on the other end.
Okay.
But is yours blending in?
In terms of the architecture or the hardscape? So the architecture, that's remained the same since we have presented last time.
Right.
It'll be clad in a limestone panel. We're improving both the ceiling, the lighting. It's going to be cleaner, brighter, safer in our hopefully. That's the idea, is to make it brighter and cleaner. So that is our mission here. It's also wider. So all of that is kind of baked in and has not changed since the last time we spoke.
Okay.
Got it.
This is Thomas. I do have a quick question for you. Regarding the lighting, have you, I hear what you mean, I hear what you're saying about making it brighter and safer. What kind of temperature setting on the lighting have you, will you be using? We talking like stadium lighting on the streets, 5,000, 6,000 K, or something a little softer?
So great question. That is all going to meet the WMATA standards. We are not proposing any lighting that isn't standard to stations universally. So we are making sure that all of our bulbs are matching the look and feel as well as the performance for them.
Okay. I mean, this is going to be on the street lighting, correct? Not just, is that what you mean by what?
The lights on the street will be your standard DDOT twin 20s. You can see it. I don't know, Elaine, if you want to highlight there. Yeah, she can, where you can see where she's highlighting. So those are just the standard DDOT lighting that we are proposing. So it won't be any brighter than what you see on traditionally on the streets in DC.
And what do they use? What does DDOT use? Do they use 5,000 K on or 4,000 K on their lights? Do you know? If not, you don't. If you don't know, that's fine.
I need to look that up. I don't know it offhand, unfortunately. All right.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
And I see that it looks like removed a bike lane on F Street.
On F Street, yeah.
True.
There is a bike lane that runs along E Street that stretches across. F Street was truncated due to, to the west. So it was a bike lane that didn't extend.
Right.
So DDOT agreed that, especially too with all the crowds in front,
Yeah.
I think it makes a lot more sense for them to go to E Street, which
Right.
connects across the city, where F Street was just a truncated section.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Got it.
DDOT had agreed to that, what we proposed.
Terrific. We have some hands up from audience members. Mr. Marks.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you for the presentation. As you know, we at Gallery Place Residential Condos have worked with Monica Dixon, the president of Monumental Sports Entertainment, on the changes particularly to the arena that affect us. Just a quick round. I didn't see the veil on the building. Have you dropped the idea of the veil?
No, this presentation, it's right there. Yeah, you can see it in that white. The presentation in terms of the color was focused purely on the hardscape and the lush planting, so that would be the focus. But no, that has not been adjusted in terms of architecture.
Okay, if you call it the slide where the G Street Alley is, or what officially is known as G Place Way, which no one uses the name, we call it the G Street Alley, and 7th, could you call up that slide, please?
Elaine, could you pull up that the Gallery Place Way
Oh, sure.
rendering? Thank you. Yep.
Yeah, so that's the first time we've actually seen a view of how this might impact our building. I mean, any kind of like redevelopment or redesign of the G Street Alley. So if you look to the left there, there's 4 sets of doors. The one that's furthest to the left, which is next to Clyde's, that is a major ingress and ingress point for our building. That's the rear entrance to our building. It's used by scores of residents out to commute to work, to stroll through Penn Quarter, or to go to museum, or walk their dogs, and so on. So what struck me is I've seen this as sort of like a balcony. It sort of juts out. I'm lacking the proper phraseology. I'm sorry.
The canopy.
The canopy there. It sort of introduces like a tightness there. I'm not here as an architectural critique, but how much did you factor in the fact that that's their entrance to our building? Was that at all part of your planning process? Were you aware that this was a major ingress and ingress point into our building?
Absolutely, Howard. We did know that, and from our talks with you, we definitely we've looked at all the operational realities of this. As part of that, we did remove the Smoothie King structure, which is basically where we're standing right now. So your ingress and egress will be much wider, and the arena will have a much wider one as well. So all in all, we in my I don't know if I could say professional opinion, but it is a much wider egress ingress route for all people in Gallery Place Way, and I use the real name. So,
and we are specifically focused for this presentation on the streetscape design, like the river design that's in the sidewalk, the planters, etc.
All right, one more question. I know other people are waiting. On the 7th Street side, where 7th and the G Street Alley come together, the concrete sidewalk continues northbound. You have the dotted lines, and then it's grayed out and indicating the sidewalk is concrete sidewalk is continuing northbound, but it's not that way out on the 6th Street side. Are you planning something special on the in front of our building going up 7th Street? Could you explain the difference between the two? The use of brick on 6th Street and the use of concrete on 7th Street.
Sure, yeah. I think we will stop the concrete at this line. So beyond this line, this dark line, the red brick will remain.
Okay.
Sorry
I mean,
about that misleading about this color.
yeah, I just wanted to clarification on that. Clearly, the brickscape has been a huge mistake. Many people who are physically challenged or in walkers or in wheelchairs, people or even runners, the bricks are poorly maintained, they're uneven. You know, and so I really applaud Monumental going ahead with this with this design of substituting out concrete, because I think it's much, much safer. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
And next up, we have Mr. Cohen.
Thanks, folks. Yeah, just real quick. The new lamps you've proposed on the 7th Street alley, those sort of flat circular lamps that are on the next slide, maybe. Just wanted to understand how those project light. They have a cap on top, so the light goes exclusively down. Or should we expect them to go up into the windows above?
I do believe that's shooting light downward.
Exclusively down. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Terrific. This looks great. I think it's coming along very nicely. We cannot wait to see next steps with this. This is totally awesome. Commissioners, is there a motion on the floor? Commissioner Lee, if you're talking, you're muted.
Yeah, quick question for you. Mr. Cohen just brought up an interesting point. I didn't even notice it until he brought it up. The light that's in the alley in the last photo, those are the lights that are going to be. Yeah, that light that's not the light that's being used elsewhere around the set.
No.
Okay.
The lights in the public realm out on in the streetscape on 7th F and 6th are all the standard lights. You can see there in the two bubbles on the left-hand side, the second from the bottom.
Two bubbles. Okay, yes. Why that's interesting. Why not use the same? And then to the right-hand side, I see the UFO light. I mean, let's just call it that, like a saucer UFO light. Why use that? Why not just use the twin existing light that you have here? I mean, I like so if you look at if you look at the area and around it, the area around it has this like really interesting historic look to it. And if you look at the lights that are currently, I'm looking at Google Maps Street View. It also has this this iron cast light that looks like it came from the 1860s, 1880s. Why use the space saucer light in these two alleyways? Like, why not just keep to the historic what's there already, and that plays into the historic character of the streetscape around it?
So first of all, when we did this alleyway design, we revisit with the building renovation and also try to tie into this Chinese culture stuff. But at same time, we want to celebrate the urbanist, that material palettes and this veil design from the architecture. And so first thing, we would like to just focus on this river pattern on the ground. We don't want to draw too much attention on the light details. So basically, if you really look at this light, it's pretty simple in that curvilinear character. We feel it's kind of tie into it with the new arena building design, like the curvy line here. So it's kind of all tied in together. And with this very clean shape, we feel we can draw more attention on the ground and this planting pot arrangement and tie everything together.
All right. Okay. I mean, yeah, the area directly, I see where you're going. I was just thinking of the Clydes and the entranceway to the Gallery Place residences have this metal working that's very detailed and ornate and harkens to that period. But I can see why you're trying to pull it towards a more modern look on your side. Okay.
I am.
All right.
But you know, Thomas, what I do see myself there is that something that was alluded to earlier is that this light does not shine upward.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the old ones, the current ones, don't shine upward either.
There's more of a lid on this one, so
yeah.
I would assume there's slightly less light leakage. So I do believe that was part of the consideration as well, to be respectful of the neighbors to the directly above it.
But if you
I'd like to, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to curtail our conversation to get through our agenda. I'd like to move that we send a letter of support for the streetscape design for Capital One Arena. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Swart. All those in favor? So 3 of 3 commissioners voting in favor of that. All right, terrific. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We'll get that off for you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And finally, this evening we have 1401 New York Avenue Northwest. This is a penthouse expansion, a BZA relief. And do we have Jessica on with us?
Yes, hello.
Hi, Jessica. How are you?
Wonderful.
Thank you for hanging in there to the end with us.
Of course. And I'm here with Jason and Nick, both from CAR, and Matthew Hart from Perkins Eastman. And do you want us to pull up the presentation, or?
Yes, if you could, that would be excellent.
Sure.
Matt, do you want to do that, or do you want me to do it?
I've got it here.
Great. And I'm Jessica Bloomfield with Holland and Knight Zoning Council, and we're here to present plans for the expansion of an existing penthouse at the office building at 1401 New York Avenue Northwest. We've not yet filed the BZA application. We wanted to come to the ANC first to present our proposal, but essentially we have to go to the BZA because the building is located within a boundary that is in close proximity to the White House. So anything we do on the penthouse has to go to the BZA. And I'll just point out, and I'll turn it over to Jason, that we have met with the U.S. Secret Service and they are supportive of the request.
Got it.
Hey, thanks, Jessica. Commissioners, thanks for your time tonight and providing us a chance to give this brief presentation. As Jessica mentioned, my name is Jason Bachneck. I'm with CAR Properties. CAR bought 1401 New York Ave in January. And my colleague, Nick Schmidt, is here with me to answer questions, and Matt's going to give a quick PowerPoint presentation. So 1401 is located about 2 blocks east of the White House. It's bound by New York Ave on the south and H Street on the north and 14th Street on the east. And a lot of people know this building because on the first floor, there's a very popular Starbucks and a Chase bank branch. But tonight, Matt is going to walk you through just a couple slides like I keep on mentioning, because what we're trying to do is reposition the building to attract some tenancy and stabilize the assets. So thanks again for your time in advance.
Great. Thank you. I'm Matthew Hart with Perkins Eastman, the senior project architect of this. Take you a little overview of the project, getting the address. You see here an aerial view of the penthouse. We will be focused on the penthouse and the expansion of that. You can see here in the view that's pulled back, it's smaller interior space. And we look at an aerial view of this. The existing penthouse is kind of constrained and set back here. Flipping forward, there's about a 2,600 square foot addition proposed in pink here. You can see it overlaid on an aerial photo and the existing site plan. Going to reorient you here, so north is to the right. The top here is the current proposed. So there's, interior space is kind of small and limited. There's a extensive roof terrace here. And what we're looking to do is kind of invert that, the building repositioning, trying to provide a better interior space for larger seating areas inside and still have a smaller yet functional and flexible roof terrace. There is an existing green roof on the building. There's a label of green roof 2 will be relocated to the upper roof of the interior space on the expansion. This is a character image of what the interior may look like, albeit the architecture on the exterior has been designed further beyond this, but it still gives the character of that. So we're proposing here a new terrace on the exterior, maintaining the existing green roof, which is grown well and has grown in quite well. The existing handrail and the existing facade, everything remains the same as it is today. We provided some new operable glazing system to be able to walk out from that interior space onto just again, adding flexibility and building amenity to building tenants of the office building. And then looking at, of course, a little more extensive sunshade for glare and sun control here. Again, keeping in character with other buildings in the neighborhood immediately to our west and east. We've relocated an existing pantry kitchen. We're going to be adding restrooms for this just as a building amenity and slightly renovating the existing office lobby. Sectionally, you can see here that we're maintaining the existing heights of the building. We are maintaining and not asking for any relief on any zoning envelope. So we will remain with the 1-to-1 setback well back from that. And the sunshade it as well does not even project beyond that 1-to-1 setback. But you can see where we're maintaining the existing green roof, adding new flooring, and bringing the wall further out here in this sectional view. This is an elevation as taken from 14th Street. The existing elevation up here, you can see it's limited, and by and large, extending this out, keeping some sunshade control and adding glazing, for that interior space to do this. Again, really highlighting here, though, is that we're not going any higher in height or beyond any other zoning envelope. And finally, a perspective view of what all of that is starting to look like. Forgive us that we haven't provided all the existing buildings around that yet, but I think the study kind of speaks for itself, and it's a very limited scope, but yet provides additional building amenity here for the neighborhood. Oh, excuse me, in the neighborhood, but for the building tenants.
And then this last slide is just to demonstrate for the ANC that the application complies with the burden of proof under the zoning regulations. Subtitle Y 1501.1E requires that any building within this particular area has to go to the BZA after consultation with the U.S. Secret Service. And as I mentioned, we have met with the Secret Service and they have stated no objection. And we have that in writing that we will be filing with our application. And then the general special exception standard of review is that the project would be in harmony with the general purposes and intent of the zoning regulations and zoning map and would not create any adverse impacts. In this case, the use is permitted in the underlying zone. It's in the underlying building. All of the height, massing, setbacks, bulk of the penthouse will comply with all the requirements, allowing for adequate light and air for surrounding properties. So it's a pretty simple zoning request, but it does require that we come and present it to the ANC. And so we, of course, would be interested in any feedback that you have, commissioners or the public. And I think that's it.
I think it looks awesome. Looks beautiful. Question. The only reason just for clarification, the only reason that you have to bring this to us is because you're within that zone. Is that it?
Zone is not the term of art. Zone, yeah. We are in the D6 zone. That is not what brings us to you. We are within the boundaries that are listed in that first paragraph on the screen right now. So that is why we are here.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. I have no objections to this. I think that would be a great addition to the building and a great amenity addition. Commissioners, do you have any questions?
Nope.
I'd like to move that we send a letter of support for this penthouse expansion.
I second that.
And all those in favor?
Uh,
3 of 3 commissioners voting in favor of that. Awesome. Do you have a number for this?
I was just going to say the same thing. We are going to be filing within the next, hopefully, week or so. And so we will have that number soon. As soon as we do, I will send it to you. We will also copy the ANC on when we file the application. So you'll get a copy of that. You'll also be notified by the BZA once it's been filed and a number has been assigned to it. But I will follow up with you directly. Would it be helpful if we prepare a resolution, or is that something?
I would love for you to. Amazing.
We will make sure that all gets done and we'll follow up. Thank you for your support tonight.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
And when do you anticipate, once this, say it gets approved and all that, when will this project be finished?
So right now our schedule is showing that wrapping up sometime around July, August of 2027.
Okay.
Got it. Not too far away. All right. Well, thank you all so very much. You have a great night.
Thank you.
We have no other items of business. I'd like to move that we adjourn our meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Lee. Thank you. Our next ANC meeting will be May 12th, 2026, 6 p.m. It will be a hybrid meeting, both in person and virtual. So please consider joining us. Thank you so very much and have a great night, guys.
Good seeing you, Thomas.
Good seeing you guys.
Don't